At an interview today at London International Airport, no one was giving away anything, but rumor in aviation circles has it that the Skythrust has some revolutionary new features. But Hiram K. Hackenbacker, the brilliant American designer and a well-known man of mystery, would give no information about the aircraft he has played a large part in designing.
Does it say when the Skythrust goes into service?
Well, it must be any day now. That's why Brains is staying on in Europe.
It says, very soon it is expected that the first flight will be London-bound from Paris.
Speaking of Paris, look.
What's it all about, Tintin?
Well, there's a whole feature about Penelope.
Everyone's in the news this week.
Excitement in the Paris fashion world mounted today. Lady Penelope Crichton Ward, the internationally known English beauty, announced she might participate in a charity fashion show presented by Francois Lemaire for the forthcoming season. It is understood that Lemaire has something really sensational to offer this year. I wonder what it'll be.
Hello there. Brains speaking. Or should I say Hiram K. Hackenbacker? For that's the name I used on this occasion. I was in London for talks on the Skythrust, but I was quite unaware of the drama that was building up in Paris involving Lady Penelope.
So as soon as I received your telegram, Francois, I got Parker to make reservations on the first available flight.
So you will do this great favor for me, dear Penelope? You will model for me at the premiere?
Francois, I'd adore to. And you know I'm always ready to help a good cause. Now, what wonderful surprises have you got in store for us this season?
Penelope, I promise you, my creations will go down in history. Some of my rivals would give, how you say, their right teeth to know my secret. I have discovered...
Wait, Francois.
What is it, Penelope?
One can never be too careful. Look.
Penelope knew that Francois' discovery must be very important. And it didn't really surprise her when she found a miniature transmitter among the flowers on the table.
All right, Francois, go ahead.
Good. Well, just in case it is not safe, I shall write it down. I shall commit my great secret to paper. Let me see.
But Penelope was now on her guard. The pen that Francois was using aroused her suspicion. Suddenly, she stopped him.
Francois, stop. Please show me that pen. That is what is known as an impressor pen, which can record and transmit anything that the writer commits to paper.
You mean...
Yes. At this very moment, that pen is sending a message to your enemies.
Oh, Penelope, this is too much. Bugs in the flowers, pens that send messages. Oh, I need reviving.
Yes, monsieur, can I help you?
Yes, ma sweet. Would you let us have some tea?
Certainly. I shall bring it in myself.
And Deirdre,
Yes, sir?
would you stand by to model the new items that arrived from Eau Claire this morning?
But of course, Mr. Lemaire.
Thank you. These are my two leading models, Madeleine and Deirdre. They will be assisting you in the show.
And they know your secret?
Indeed they do. And this, at last, my dear Penelope, is my secret.
My dear Francois.
Watch carefully.
From a carton not much bigger than a matchbox, Francois began pulling the corner of a brightly colored fabric until he held in his hands a complete dress.
Voila!
Francois, how wonderful.
This is my new fibre, Penelon. I named it after you, Penelope. I hope you don't mind.
Mind. Francois, This is a revolution.
Penelon can be made into any kind of costume desired. It never gets crushed, and it can squeeze up into the smallest space. Its possibilities are immense, as you will appreciate.
How marvelous.
Here are some other designs in the collection, all made of Penelon.
Ah, tea. How civilized. Do you take sugar, Lady Penelope? Well, one lump wouldn't do any harm, I suppose.
Alas, Penelope, I am the end of my wits. Surrounded on all sides by enemies. What am I to do?
The arrangements for the preview must be changed. We dare not hold it in your salon. The risk is too great.
But where do you suggest? The top of the Eiffel Tower?
That would at least be safer. Now, let's see. There must be somewhere there's no danger of interruption. Got it. I know just the place. But first of all, I shall have to contact a friend.
Penelope's idea was brilliant. She knew about the first flight of Skythrust, and she also knew Ashton, the senior pilot of the airline, who was to fly the plane on this first trip from Paris to London. If only they could hold the preview on board her while she was airborne. It seemed the ideal solution, but first she had to talk to Ashton about it.
But Lady Penelope, you haven't explained how you came to know Hiram Hackenbacker.
Mr. Ashton, you must allow a lady a few secrets. Let me just say that he and I are associates.
Well, Hiram's quite a dark horse. Boy, what brains that fellow has.
Brains? Oh, yes, he's got a lot of talent, all right. Now, about this scheme of mine.
Well, it seems a lot of trouble to go to just for a fashion show.
Now, isn't that just like a man? Ah, here's coffee.
Will that be all, monsieur?
Yes, thank you.
As the waiter moved away, Penelope's compact signal began to operate.
What is it, Parker?
I'll get you to read it, lady. There's another of them transmitters bugging you. It's just starting to register.
The coffee pot. It must be the coffee pot.
Sure enough, in the lid of the coffee pot was another of those listening devices, which she immediately put out of action.
Penelope, I don't understand.
The waiter planted it to overhear our conversation. Now do you see how important this fashion show is?
Yes, Penelope, I do.
Now remember, Penelope, you must go and get changed as soon as we've leveled out.
Don't worry, Francois. We shan't let you down.
Oh, how about the music? Is it going to be all right?
Mason the steward is taking care of that. He's new to the airline, but I've explained how the cues will go.
As Skythrust began its journey, Tintin and I were nearing London Airport. The Skythrust should have left Paris by now, Tintin.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to hearing about the dress show.
Well, we'll just go up to the control tower to pay our respects, and then we'll go down to the runway and meet the plane.
Aren't you excited, Brains? I mean, Mr. Hackenbacker?
This is called Autumn Crocus. You will observe the swirling pleats and the slim-shaped bodice. The skirt flares slightly at the hem. The entire ensemble, like everything else in the collection, is made of Penelon.
Say, this Penelon is a sensation. It's the biggest thing in fabric development since the cotton mill.
And now finally, mesdames et messieurs, may I present to you the Penelon bridal dress.
this is Skythrust, calling London Control.
Loud and clear, Skythrust. Go ahead.
Proceeding now to London. ETA 15 minutes.
London Control to Skythrust.
We have you on our radar. Provisional runway allocation number 39.
Thank you, London.
Leave those controls just where they are.
Hey, what is this?
Don't do anything stupid. I know how to use these.
Do as she says. She means it.
The plans are changed. We are not going to London.
What's this supposed to be?
Your new destination.
But it's in the middle of the Sahara, miles from anywhere.
Precisely. There'll be no one around to disturb us. Now, set a course. We haven't got time to waste.
You idiot! This is an outrage!
When I want your opinion, I'll ask for it. Right, you. Get all those dresses boxed up again.
Boxed up again? What do you mean?
He means, Francois, that he is going to steal the entire collection.
What?
Exactly. This Penelon stuff is too good a haul to lose.
But they hadn't reckoned on the cunning of Lady Penelope.
Look, Father.
It's Penelope. She's in trouble. I thought it was a little too peaceful around here.
What are we waiting for?
Right, Scott? Away you go. You too, Virgil.
Yes, sir.
With only the bleep of Penelope's emergency signal as a guide, they blasted off, not knowing where they were going or what they were required to do. Penelope hadn't been able to talk as Mason was watching them too closely. She could only hope that her signal would be heard by International Rescue, and that they would be able to get a direction bearing from that.
Right. I'm going to contact Brains in London to see if he's any idea what's gone wrong. Give me a bearing on Penelope's signal as soon as you can.
Understood, Father.
Where are they taking us?
Be patient, Francois. Help is on its way.
I have a bearing on Skythrust, Father.
Right.
40 degrees. 18 minutes.
40 degrees, 18 minutes. Looks like they're heading for the Sahara. Why hijack a plane and take it there?
Madeline had planned well. She knew when Skythrust reached the Sahara, 2 more crooks would be there to meet them at a disused airfield.
Look at it. Sand, sand. Nothing but sand.
Stop griping, Ross, and get on that radio.
Calling Skythrust. Can you read me? Calling Skythrust. Come in, please. There's no answer.
That thing's got a limited range, remember? They'll be here.
This is International Rescue calling Skythrust.
International Rescue?
Don't answer that call.
This is International Rescue calling Skythrust. Come in, please.
We'd better answer it. Those boys never give up, you know.
All right. But watch what you say.
Loud and clear, International Rescue.
Request you return to London, Skythrust.
Tell him no.
I'm sorry we can't do that.
I must insist you do.
Here, give me that. And if we don't, what then?
I'm afraid we'll have to take action to force you to.
Who are you trying to kid? Your job is to save lives, not to risk them. Just leave us alone.
Come in, Scott.
I've spoken to Skythrust, Father.
But they're not going to give in without a fight.
Well, I have a feeling we can bluff them for a bit. Brains has an idea. He's telling Virgil about it now.
I want you to load up a low-velocity, non-explosive missile and take a pot shot at Skythrust's undercart.
Sounds pretty risky, Brains.
Now, don't worry, Virgil. It'll be all right. Just trust Mr. Hackenbacker.
Okay, then. Hire him.
Look,
A Thunderbird. Wow.
Trying to scare us, eh?
Real close this time, Alan.
FAB.
I've had enough of their little games. Now hear these, you crazy fools. I've got Ashton and the co-pilot right here beside me. If you're still in sight 30 seconds from now, Ashton gets a bullet through the brain.
Did you see the Thunderbird, Penelope?
Yes, that's got them worried.
Don't build up your hopes, friends. Looks like mighty international rescue are giving up. Well, it seems we'll have to use Brain's idea, Alan.
Right. Let's get back after them. Closing.
Fire as soon as you can.
Steady, steady. 1,000. 800. 600. 400. 200. Missile away.
What was that?
I don't know. We better check it out.
The wheel housing's locked. It's no good. It won't free itself.
What sort of trick is this?
It's no trick.
And it means we can't land in the Sahara. Not with an undercart malfunction.
Don't try and blind me with science.
All right. Get Mason in here. You say he knows about these things?
I think I'll do just that.
I hope you know what you're doing. We may not fool Mason. He could know about the Hackenbacker device.
It's a pretty well-kept secret. I'm betting he doesn't know. What's this about not being able to land in the desert? That's right, Mason. How much do you know about Skythrust? Enough. Take a look at this, then. All right. There's a fault in the undercart. Exactly. Now, if you can tell me how to land this aircraft on the desert airstrip, miles from anywhere, without wheels, you better tell me now.
4 minutes to rendezvous.
We'll have to turn back. If we do, who says we can land at London? At London, they're fully equipped for emergency landings. At least we'll have a chance.
What is going on?
All right. Head for London.
Now wait a minute.
Shut up. I've seen a plane go up, and I don't want to be in this one when it does. They're turning back. Tell Father.
Right.
I'm worried, Brains. All those fire trucks.
Well, they won't need those.
I don't understand. What is so special about Skythrust?
Just wait and see, Tintin. Wait and see. 17 miles to touchdown.
Reduce power.
Reducing power.
How much fuel left? Just under half. Nearly half? Well, can't we jettison some?
Pull yourself together, Mason.
Take her down to 1,000 feet.
Reducing altitude.
Look, about the fuel.
What about it?
Can't we ditch some overboard, like Mason said?
Sorry, it can't be done. If you two are so worried, why don't you get back in the rear? It's the safest place. Yeah. Why don't we do that?
Well, they say the proof of the pudding's in the eating. So here goes.
Well, Mr. Hackenbacker,
We're in your hands now.
This was what I had been waiting for.
Here she comes.
The giant form of Skythrust came soaring in and touched down in a shower of sparks and smoke. Then, suddenly, two jets, housed in the tailplane assembly, burst into life, and the whole end section, which contained the fuel tanks, roared into the air.
There she goes. Take her up to 40,000 feet on 320. Stand by. Detonate.
There was the terrible screech of tortured metal against stone as the momentum carried the rest of Skythrust forward, sending a shower of metal everywhere as pieces broke off. But by now, the real danger was over, and she slowly came to a halt without catching fire and without serious injury to anyone on board.
5,000 gallons. You've got to hand it to Hackenbacker. His ejectable fuel pod to eliminate fire hazard really works. It will revolutionize flying safety.
Are you all right, Penelope?
Fine. It was no worse than 1 or 2 conventional landings I've experienced.
Look at that.
Well, well, well. The 2 brave hijackers. Don't get up. You can just lie still and wait for the police.
What about their accomplices, Penelope?
I'm sure they'll be well taken care of, Francois.
I sure am pleased that my design worked. But I must confess that those last few minutes seemed like hours until I saw that fuel explode. I dread to think what might have happened if a fault had developed. Well, Penelope is now enjoying a nice, quiet holiday after the excitement of the crash and the fashion preview. The crooks, too, are having a holiday at the expense of the French government. So I think I'll just settle back here on the island and have me a holiday, too. So long for now.